Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Merits of Knowledge. In this video we are learning about gerunds and infinitives in detail. Let's start. What is a gerund? A gerund is a verb form that ends in ing and functions as a noun. It can serve as the subject or object in a sentence. For example, in the phrase walking is exercise, walking acts as the subject. I enjoy dancing. Here, dancing is the object of the verb enjoy. Gerunds as subjects. When a gerund is used as a subject, it represents an action or activity. For instance, walking is a great way to stay fit. Cooking requires patience. Reading is my favorite hobby. Buying the car was a big mistake. In these examples, the gerunds walking, cooking, reading and buying are the subjects of the sentences, indicating the activities being discussed. Gerunds as objects. Gerunds can also function as objects in sentences. This occurs when they follow verbs that require a noun as their object. For example, I enjoy reading. She dislikes running. His favorite activity is swimming. I hate studying at night. Here, reading, running, swimming and studying are the objects of the verbs enjoy and dislikes, respectively. The process of using gerunds. When using gerunds, it is essential to understand the context. In English, gerunds often describe ongoing actions or processes. For instance, dancing is fun. Swimming helps you relax. These sentences highlight that the activities are not just actions but processes that can be enjoyed or beneficial. Examples of gerunds in sentences. 1. Reading improves your vocabulary. 2. Traveling can be expensive. 3. I am interested in learning new languages. 4. Hiking is a great way to explore nature. In these examples, gerunds serve various functions, showcasing their versatility in English. Gerunds after prepositions. Gerunds often follow prepositions, which is another area where learners may struggle. For example, she is good at drawing. He is tired of waiting. In these sentences, the gerunds drawing and waiting follow the prepositions at and of, respectively, indicating the actions related to the prepositions. Gerund phrase. Eating blackberries quickly will make you ill. In the gerund phrase above, eating is the gerund. A gerund phrase always starts with the gerund. The word blackberries is the direct object of the gerund. The object of a gerund is also called the gerund complement. Quickly is a modifier, an adverb. Infinitives. Infinitives are verb forms that act as other parts of speech like nouns, adjectives, or adverbs within a sentence. They are typically formed by using to plus the base form of the verb. For example, to run, to eat, and to be are infinitives. Here's a more detailed explanation. Form. Infinitives are usually created by placing the word to before the base form of a verb, example, to walk, to think. Function. Although they are derived from verbs, infinitives don't function as the main verb in a sentence. Instead, they act as other parts of speech. Examples. Noun, to err is human. Infinitive. To err. Acts as the subject of the sentence. Adjective, this is the place to stay. Infinitive. To stay. Modifies the noun. Place. Verb, I went to the store to buy milk. Infinitive, to buy. Explains the purpose of going to the store. Use. Infinitives are useful for discussing actions without actually performing them, and they can add clarity and nuance to sentences. Other considerations. Infinitives can also appear without the to in constructions, such as after modal verbs, example, I can go, or after verbs like let, make, or help. Infinitive versus infinitive phrase. Infinitives include to and a verb. Infinitive phrases include more words after the verb to provide detail. Paul really wanted to sleep all night. It's my money to spend on what I want. We return to help our friends. How to use infinitives. You can use infinitives in several ways. Because they function as nouns, adjectives, and adverbs, they can appear almost anywhere. Infinitives as the object of a sentence. The most common way to use infinitive verbs is as a direct object or an indirect object. When the subject performs an action, the infinitive can answer the question, what? As the object of that action. Examples of the infinitives used as direct objects include: I want to be an astronaut. The verb is want. Shane asked to have another hamburger. The verb is ask. The manager promised to hold the job for me. The verb is promise. Try to sleep a little more before our flight. The verb is try. Chuck hopes to spend less than $30 on his haircut. The verb is hope. Infinitives as the subject of a sentence. Infinitives can appear as another type of noun when they function as the subject of a sentence. To play is what I want. To swim is what likes. To visit is what they promised. This construction might sound awkward, in which case, you can replace the infinitives with their gerund forms. Playing is what I want, swimming is what Shane likes, etc. Fast fact: one of the most famous examples of an infinitive as the subject of a sentence is Hamlet's immortal phrase, to be or not to be, from Shakespeare's Hamlet. Infinitives as subject complements. When an infinitive comes after a linking verb like is, it functions as a subject complement to explain more about the subject. My dream is to graduate. The company's goal is to expand. John's preference is to leave. Infinitives that modify nouns. Sometimes infinitives can function as adjectives themselves. These infinitives describe more about the purpose or function of a noun. I need a book to read. Mary has a new dress to wear. Can I have something to eat? Infinitives that modify verbs. When an infinitive modifies a verb or verb phrase, it's functioning as an adverb. These infinitives tell more about why an action is happening. Notice that if you add a silent in order to before the infinitive, you can tell that the infinitive is functioning as an adverb. I came to college to learn. Sean returned home to change clothes. We bought this house to settle down. Infinitives that modify adjectives. Infinitives can also modify adjectives to provide more details in a sentence. In this case, they come after the adjective in a sentence. I'm happy to help. We were ready to sleep. Matt was afraid to ask. Infinitives that explain to or enough. Adjectives that include the words to or enough require infinitives to fill in the rest of the meaning. Infinitives come after these words in a sentence. Chuck is wealthy enough to pay. It's too dark to drive. Isla is too tired to study. Negative infinitives. It's easy to make infinitives negative in a sentence. Just add the word not before the infinitive. We planned to leave early. We planned not to leave early. Mom asked me to drive. Mom asked me not to drive. Lisa chose to attend college. Lisa chose not to attend college. Common confusions. Gerunds versus infinitives. Many learners confuse gerunds with infinitives, the base form of a verb preceded by to. While both can function as nouns, their usage differs. I like to swim. Infinitive. I like swimming. Gerund. In this case, both sentences convey a similar meaning, but the structure changes. Understanding when to use each form is crucial for clarity in communication. What are bare infinitives? Unlike full infinitives, bare infinitives are infinitives without to. They're still in the base form of the verb. You're most likely to see bare infinitives with modal verbs, would, could, can, should, will, may, might, ought to, shall, and others. I could be an ought. Shane might have another hamburger. Can the manager hold the job for me? You should rest a little more before our flight. You'll also see bare infinitives after other verbs, such as let, hear, feel, make, see, help, watch, smell, or any other verb that indicates perception. Let it a little longer. Help me reach the top shelf. Watch me dive in the deep end. We heard the dogs bark all night. Here are some worksheets for you to solve and learn. Leave your comment with your answers. Also, suggest the contents in English which you prefer to watch. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. For more such videos, please do subscribe. Click the bell icon for further notification. Kindly like the video to motivate us to do more informative videos in future. By my lovely audience.